Hey y'all, want to do an updated video on my favorite builds. So as some pretext, I've done 90 do runs. That means I played the game up until you can collect all 12 Yggdrasil Dew that provide permanent stat buffs. 90 times I have done that run, which is about 2 to 3 hours per run. When the Lake of Nine, the water drops for the second time, is when you can collect them all. Not sure why they decide to give Strength 3 per run, Runic just 1 per run, and then the rest Defense, Vitality, Cooldown 2 per run. Could be an oversight. Don't really know, but that's the way it is staggered. The reason I decided to do 90 runs is because that is when you can get at level 1 with all the starting armor and pommels, your runic up to 250, which is the lowest amount required to get every single skill boost from that, like the one you see here. Now for other stat caps, there's actually a great video I link in the description of all my videos where a player, canon, I'm actually not sure how you pronounce the name, went and actually did testing and all of that. He found that strength caps around 380-ish. Runic has a cap just under 200-ish, but once again 250 to get the final skill boost. I forget what he had for defense. Vitality actually continues to increase infinitely, so if you every 2 vitality gives you 1 HP, and then after you get vitality of around 330, you stop staggering from enemy attacks. Luck actually has no cap, so if you have the save wizard and increase that to a ridiculous number, you will be able to get low level procs to proc every single time, and then cooldown has a cap of 332 when all of the runic attacks, including Atreus's, are maxed out and will not go lower beyond that. So you really don't need to do 90 do runs. If you have the save wizard, once again, easiest way to do it, or if you're on a PC, you could probably edit it easier. But if you're on console and want to max out your stats, you probably only need to do about a dozen do runs. So don't go crazy. Now, switching to the armor. The armor itself, I will either play with some of the perfect armors, really any of them. A lot of the armor procs are defensive based, meaning if you get hit, that is when they proc. Since my videos are really no damage videos, they're kind of useless to me. Aside from things like Zeus or Sindri's armor or COD armor, which can be used offensively, a lot of the other ones, I just kind of wear whatever I think looks good, just mix and match, do whatever. Sometimes I will go level 1, I'll just take it all off because I'll have max stats, and that can be interesting, although you deal a lot less stagger and stun damage, so it changes the way you have to play. Now as far as the enchantments themselves, when I am level 10, all enchantment slots available, it's always the same. I like the consistency of these. I leverage the axe throw one to max that out. These two I farmed in Muspelheim. I have a video on that I will link in the description. I've tested these against Draugr, and those have a noticeable benefit. I also use the perfect mark of Kvasir, so you upgrade the amulet of Kvasir all the way, and then you can convert this into an enchantment and free up your talisman slot. I use the speedy evasion and increased max sprinting speed. These two I like just because when you move faster, you feel more powerful. It gives you more options. So I like using those. I use the permafrost and immolation perks. These I've tested against Draugr as well with my level and stats. They made a noticeable difference. And then the barehanded attack. These two, as well as the permafrost and immolation, I farmed in Muspelheim again, and these three here, these seem to work as well in my testing against Draugr, and I have a video, I'll link in the description, where I use this against a Traveler. It essentially makes you do twice as much damage, so these are definitely useful. Now, there are some like the frost damage increase here, where I've done testing on this when even with 50%, two of these, and I did not notice a difference with either fully maxed out permafrost and immolation blades or axe, or with runic attacks. So I actually stopped leveraging these in my gameplay. And then the stun damage one I've tested as well against Draugr with max stats and level, and I did not see a difference in the amount of stun damage inflicted. So I do not leverage these either. There's others, like ones that increase your rage damage and stuff. I have not tested those, so I'm not sure if those work. For the Talisman, I've been using the Talisman of Betrayal a lot in my gameplay. It allows for the slowdown of attacks like throws, as well as runic attacks, which adds a really cinematic feel to your gameplay. You could be creative with it a lot of ways, and it gives you a distinct speed advantage against your enemies. So you can actually beat out their attacks because you will be moving faster than them, which just once again is the type of gameplay I go for. Cinematic gives it a very cinematic feel. So I've been using that one a lot lately. For the Pommels, the ones I stick to are Wing of Fallen. This one stacks up to 3 times, and also there is a blade version of this in the Grips of the Valkyrie with the same perk that also stacks, so they can help each other stack, have a lot of synergy that way. So I leverage these two, plus the Axe Pommel has the R1 combo perk, so that golden beam there. Now that is actually better than the one on the Forbidden Grips of the Ages. I have a video on that I can link in the description. So I like that as well. Now the other ones I leverage are Ymir's Breath for the Frost Explosion and Explosive Grips of Fire for the Fire Explosion, because this, along with the enchantments for permafrost and immolation, actually do a decent amount of elemental damage. So I like the synergy that you have there. Aside from that, I don't really leverage the rest. They have their uses. Blight Guard is interesting, but weakness has no effect on Valkyries in GMGoW New Game Plus. So these are not useful in Valkyrie fights for me. Curse Flame is very powerful, actually. If you get this firebomb on an enemy, when it explodes, it does a noticeable amount of damage. So this is good against Valkyries or other boss fights. So there's others with their uses, of course. If you need things like perks or whatever, don't want to do 90 do runs, you want to just do a few, you can use Versatile Warrior Handle just for the extra stats and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you all enjoyed. Give it a like and subscribe if so, and I'll catch you next time.